no place like the Cube.
Coming across your airwaves, dance with me. It's an intersectional day, and it's gonna bring you the weekly.
Family, is the news overwhelming? Is it just too much? Well, I get you, and I got you.
Yeah.
Family, this is your favorite queer radio personality, Anna DeShawn, and this is Queer News, your favorite weekly news pod where race and sexuality meet politics, culture, and entertainment. This is your number one stop for queer news done right, only on E3 Radio.
I really, Michael, I need to get close to you right now because I need you to understand. If you're willing, please give me your hands. Young man, you are not cursed. You are as loved and as worthy, Michael, as your father, your mother, and everyone else who gets the privilege to reside on this earth, young man. And I don't care what your daddy says. I don't care what this Matthew guy says. I don't care what some stupid conversion therapy says, which is nothing but a bunch of hoopla and a scam and a money grab for young, vulnerable men like yourself. I see you. You are valuable. And Michael, you are perfect. You are perfect in the eyes of God.
Thank you.
I feel the same way, Your Honor.
I'm not talking to you, sir.
It was the, I don't want to talk to you, sir, at the end. It was that part for me, okay? That was Ebony K. Williams on her court TV show where she had a case where a father was suing his son for $6,000 for conversion therapy that his son didn't complete. The excerpt you all heard was Ebony coming down from her bench. You could hear her heels clacking down the stairs, okay, to hold the hands of the young man and speak life into him. Conversion therapy is torture, period, and a scam, period, and it causes immeasurable harm. Immeasurable, because you literally cannot measure the harm that it causes. Coming off the recent Supreme Court decision, I think it's so important to reinforce the fact that we are not imperfect. We are exactly who we're meant to be. Family, subscribe to our YouTube channel, okay, E3 Radio, because we've got a special series coming out called The Docket that gives us a deep dive into that conversion therapy ruling, as well as other cases that the Supreme Court is taking on this session. QCrew, what's good? I'd like to thank you again for your continued commitment to helping me sustain this here podcast. You helped me to cover the cost of our editor, Ryan, who I quite literally wouldn't want to do this podcast without. So, if you believe in the work we do, if you believe LGBTQ stories need to be amplified, if you love and respect how I report the news and tell our stories, join the QCrew, okay? It starts as low as $5 a month, and a link is in the show notes. And family, please don't forget about our Queer News tip line. It is open to you 24/7, 365 to leave us a voicemail that you'd want us to share here on the show about a queer organization, a song coming out by a queer artist, a story happening in your community that you think we should know about and amplify. Send me a voicemail. I love hearing your voices on this here podcast. A link is where? In the show notes. We should just say it together in unison. I feel it. Now for the news. This week on the Queer News Podcast, our top story mourns the life of Davonta Curtis, a trans woman who was brutally murdered in Chicago earlier this week. In politics, the Montana Supreme Court steps up to protect their trans citizens, and the pride at Stonewall is here to stay. In culture and entertainment, it's Lesbian Visibility Week, and sports power couple Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe have split up, child. The internet was in a frenzy. Let's get into it. For our top story, a 31-year-old Black trans woman was found murdered in her own home. Her name was Davonta Curtis, and she should still be here today. Here's what we know, family. The morning of April 8th, Davonta was found by Chicago PD with a blunt force trauma to her head. She was pronounced dead on the scene in East Garfield Park. That's 2 days after her boyfriend, DeAndre Bell, was arrested and brought in for questioning. On April 11th, during a hearing, it was revealed by Cook County prosecutors that Bell Googled, quote, how to kill someone with a hammer, and, quote, if a person gets hit in the head with a hammer while sleeping, what happens? Googling how to murder someone is pretty condemning evidence to me. DeAndre has been charged with possession of a stolen vehicle and 1 count of murder in the first degree. Shortly after the hearing, the judge ordered that DeAndre be detained. His next court date is April 29th. Many people and organizations mourn and condemn the murder of Davonta Curtis, including the National Black Justice Collective's Director of Public Policy and Programs, Victoria Kirby York. We call her VKY. And she wrote this piece in their press release, and it's a long quote, but family, I think it's worth reading the entire thing. She wrote, my heart is heavy with grief at the news of the truly horrific murder of Davonta Curtis. It is unfortunately too common for trans people to be targeted by the people they loved and trusted, with HRC reporting 26% of trans homicide victims were killed by an intimate partner. Also, unfortunately, misgendering of the victim by law enforcement and the media is common, and we once again saw that with Davonta. Misgendering delays wider reporting on her death, and in other cases can delay justice for the victim. When the dead are misgendered, in reports from the media, law enforcement, and emergency medical services, their names are lost to us twice, once in life and once in the court of those we mourn. She goes on to say, the epidemic of violence continues to ravage our communities. Transphobic rhetoric and hostile legislation continue to poison the climate, stoking the very hatred that erupts into physical harm. Our trans siblings deserve more than survival. They deserve to thrive. We must fight at every level of government, not just against anti-trans legislation, but for pro-trans society and legislation that affirms and protects trans people's safety, access to care and resources, and the right to exist as their authentic selves. Family, can you see why I wanted to read the whole thing? Okay, VKY said all that needed to be said. And so in this moment, Davonta Curtis, rest in all your power. You deserve so much more than what the world gave you. Now in politics, in a nearly unanimous vote, the Montana Supreme Court voted 5-2, declaring that transgender discrimination is, by its very nature, sex discrimination. The case that they voted on centers on 2 trans women who argued against a law about sex markers on official Montana IDs, such as birth certificates and driver's licenses. The name of the bill is SB 240 and SB 245. They were Senate bills in the early 2020s that banned the changes of sex markers, quote, on receipt of a court order indicating that the sex of a person has been changed by a surgical procedure. The ACLU of Montana represented the plaintiffs in this case. And let me tell y'all something. The jubilation rang out from the courthouse after the hearing of one of the plaintiffs and veteran of the U.S. Army for nearly 31 years, Jessica, telling the ACLU of Montana, quote, after finally being able to live my life openly as the woman I know myself to be, I am frustrated that my birth state, Montana, is forcing me to carry around a birth certificate that incorrectly lists my sex as male. I am being forced to use a birth certificate that is inaccurate and that places me at risk of discrimination and harassment whenever I have to present it. I live my life openly as a woman. I am treated as a woman in my daily life, and there is no reason I should be forced to carry a birth certificate that incorrectly identifies me as male. You better tell him, Jessica. I see why. The courthouse rang out in jubilation after hearing what you had to say. Family, this trend of states voting in favor of changing legislation so it further protects their trans citizens is a welcome change and a much needed protection in the event that the federal government acts out again. And let me just say, I know what we may think about Montana, and it's also a place that has trans representation in the legislature. Most well-known Representative Zoe Zephyr, but then there's also S.J. Howell. So family, I know what we may think when we hear Montana, but they are honestly leading the way. Come on now. For our last story in politics, let us celebrate another win because the Trump administration has lost again. This time because the pride flag will fly again at Stonewall. The Trump administration lost the suit filed by Lambda Legal and Washington Litigation Group on behalf of the Gilbert Baker Foundation. And I want to pause for a second. Family, do you all recognize the name Gilbert Baker? If you don't, we all should, okay? Because he is the creator of the Rainbow Pride Flag. Now, they were also representing Village Preservation and Equality New York, where they argued the removal of the pride flag at Stonewall was discriminatory. Now, this suit was filed back in February when the Trump administration directed the National Park Service to take the pride flag down from Stonewall. And if you remember, back on our February 16th episode, we reported about this story, and our good friend, Kathy Renner, communications director for the National LGBTQ Task Force, shared why this was devastating and what it was like to be there in protest to raise the flag once again. Let's run her voicemail back, okay? Take a listen.
I was just thrilled to see our community come together in unity to respond to the disgusting, frankly, removal of the original rainbow flag at the Stonewall National Monument. That's a sacred place for our community, some place where we go when good things happen, when bad things happen, when we win fights like marriage equality, and when we lose community members in horrific incidents like the Pulse nightclub massacre. It is truly a historic, but also vitally, currently important place for people around the world to come to learn about where the modern LGBT rights movement really was sparked after the Stonewall Uprising in 1969. I was absolutely thrilled to see the next day our elected officials and community organizations come together to raise the flag once again in defiance to the just absolutely ridiculous policy of the Trump administration, another attempt to erase who we are, who we love, and our contributions to American history.
That's right. I mean, they tried to erase us, but the people rose up and fought back. The Trump administration has decided to settle the lawsuit and are ordered to put the pride flag back on the official flagpole within 7 days. The American flag and the National Park District flag will fly there as well, and all the flags have to be in equal size. And family, may we never forget that when we fight, we win. Now feels like a great time to take a quick break. When we get back, let's get into some culture and entertainment, okay? All right. Hey, Chicago family, we have some exciting news. City Clerk Anna Valencia is bringing back Amnesty Month. From April 1st through April 30th, you can purchase your Chicago City sticker without late fees or back charges. There are 3 ways to get your city sticker during Amnesty April. Visit any office of the City Clerk or Department of Finance location. Go to one of their 3 Saturday mobile City Hall events, where they'll also be printing city keys. And lastly, online at the City Clerk's 24/7 online store, easybuy.shycityclerk.com. Learn more by visiting shycityclerk.com/Amnesty Month. Remember, all city sticker purchases must be completed by April 30th, 2026, so don't miss out. If you're listening to this, it means we didn't sell this ad space. If you're listening to this, it means running ads on our podcast can actually work. You see what I did there? Do you need some promo? A little amplification? Hit us up at info@e3radio.fm. That's info@e3radio.fm. We have a platform. You should use it. Did you know we had a newsletter? Yes, the Queer News Podcast has a weekly newsletter that comes out every Monday. There's a special newsletter for the QCrew, but there's a free newsletter for absolutely everybody. So if you want to stay in the know about what I got going on, what I got to say unfiltered, and just a list of all the stories covered every single week with time codes, you got to subscribe to the newsletter. A link to subscribe is in the show notes. Welcome back to the show, family. Now let's get into some culture and entertainment.
Anna, thank you so much for asking me. I wanted to get involved with Lesbian Visibility Week because, firstly, when you get a chance to work with Franco Stevens, that's an automatic yes. I got one of my first professional gigs in Curve magazine, and this is a real full circle moment for me to work with the Curve Foundation. And Lesbian Visibility Week has grown tremendously over the last couple years here in the United States. It started in the UK, and the Curve Foundation spearheads Lesbian Visibility Week in the US and North America, actually. We've spread out to Canada. And I really wanted to be a part of that continued growth. Lesbians don't get the kind of support financially or otherwise that we need. Yet here we are with over 100 events happening all across the country and Canada. And what Lesbian Visibility Week means to me is that we have a chance to make our voices heard, that lesbians and queer women across the world can have a place to call home, and that the word lesbian means something beautiful and inclusive and amazing, that this younger generation of queer women can feel empowered to embrace that word lesbian. And also, there's just so much joy and fun happening around this event. It's truly incredible.
Thank you, Dana. Family, it's Lesbian Visibility Week. And the theme for this year is healing and wellness. The Lesbian Visibility Week of North America has the next 7 days filled with in-person and virtual panels, film screenings and discussions, exhibits, and celebrations of people in our community. To check out the full schedule, head to lesbianvisibility.org/events. Or just go to lesbianvisibility.org and dive in, okay? On Friday, I'm actually co-moderating a panel called Beyond the Rainbow, the terms we use. Yes, Curve Foundation reached out, and of course we said yes, okay? And it's also in collaboration with the nonprofit Give Us the Floor. And we're gonna look at how terms shift, why some create connection while others create tension, and what it means for elders to listen to younger queer people as language evolves. It will also make space for disagreement, debates around terms like queer and flinta, and how those conversations reflect broader questions about inclusion, history, and community. So family, come join me, okay? The panel is at 3:00 on Friday, and it will be virtual. You can find the link to register in our show notes. I hope to see you there. For our last story today, love isn't in the air in the world of sports right now. If social media is any indication, I'm sure by now you've seen the news that Olympian and 4-time WNBA title holder Sue Bird and soccer Olympic gold medalist and legend Megan Rapinoe have decided to go their separate ways. In a beautifully crafted statement by the two on Instagram, the duo wrote, "There really is no smooth or easy way to share this news. After a lot of thought, we've made the decision to separate as a couple. This hasn't been an easy decision, but it's one we've made together with so much love, respect, and care for each other. We've shared a whole life over the last decade through big moments and in quiet ones, and that is something we'll always carry with us. Getting to build a touch more, the podcast, and build a network around it has been a tremendous joy. The conversations, the laughter, the connections, it means more than we can put into words. While this chapter of doing the podcast together is ending, what we've built with you isn't. We are so grateful for this incredible community that has held us up, welcomed us in, and supported us exactly as we are." Child, they even did this on video, okay? It felt like two lesbian parents holding everybody's hand through a bad breakup. Okay, maybe it's not bad. Through a breakup, okay? Because they've been together for over a decade. No one could see this coming, probably except for the people in their lives, but we ain't in their life. So we didn't see it coming. Let me tell you, the two retired from playing in their respective leagues in the early 2020s. And Sue Bird was just inducted into the Naismith Hall of Fame in 2025 and currently works as the WNBA's National Team Managing Director. Although their joint podcast, A Touch More, is coming to an end, it's not an abrupt one. The same day it was announced by Bird that 6 special episodes are set to release as a farewell to all of us and to that space. I tell you, that's how lesbians do it, okay? The healthy ones, the ones that have been in therapy, okay? That's how we do it. It's time for Anna's Got a Word because Anna's always got a word. And the word for today is empathy. I chose this word because that's what I believe Ebony K. Williams was practicing in the clip that we played at the top of the show. It wasn't sympathy. It was truly empathy in action. Now, you may be asking what's the difference, and if you know, it's all good, but for those that don't, let me share. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person by emotionally connecting and stepping into their shoes. Whereas sympathy is feeling sorry for someone, maybe for their misfortune, but it's usually from a distance and it's often without fully understanding their experience. Empathy helps to build connection, while sympathy can sometimes feel like pity. Ebony, in that clip, demonstrated for us what empathy looks like. And I want to challenge all of us to practice empathy in our lives. It takes a little more energy, okay? So I want us to free up some space in our hearts, in our minds, in our lives, to really put ourselves in someone else's shoes. I promise, you won't react the same way. You won't treat people the same way. You won't be so judgy. And honestly, you'll probably give folks some grace. Till next week, family. Peace. If you've enjoyed what you heard, rate and review us inside your favorite podcasting app. This podcast is written and produced by me, Anna DeShawn. Podcast editing by Ryan Woodhall, and brought to you by E3 Radio and distributed on The Cube. We are Queer News Done Right.